What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Gotham Knights versus Gotham Knights. This was a video idea that came into my head, obviously, once the trailer for the Gotham Knights CW show came out, and well, let me just jump to the chase with that first. It's god-awful. It's maybe one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Yet again, Batwoman did exist, and remember, this is from really the exact same team. So if you're expecting this show to be good, I would like to just ask you, did you think Batwoman was good? If you say yes, then that's fine. If you say no, well, that should answer your question about Gotham Knights. Now, the thing I want to talk about, and I also want to make this very clear, I'm not, and I don't want to, put words into WB's mouth. I'm not speaking for WB Montreal. This is me, Alex, of Podcast Now, giving my opinion on what I think they're doing internally, okay? And I do think that could be panicking. I really do. From the get-go, and I did find this weird, like, immediately, and I didn't really know why, and now I think we do know why. They have tried, and I'm talking WB Montreal, the Gotham Knights video game, they have tried to distance themselves as much as humanly possible from the TV show. And again, it actually came across kind of weird at first, where it's like, why are you, like, in the FAQs on their website, one of the questions is talking about the CW show, and it's like, you don't need to put that, like, in my opinion, it's like, well, I don't really know if you need to put that there, right? But it's there, and it's there for a specific reason, because now you see the CW show. All right, now let me get to, I guess, what one can do to the other, because you could say, well, Alex, the TV they're different they're different things, like, they're not actually related. I know that. I want to talk, so I guess we'll go into that. How will the CW show affect the game? And then we can talk about why I believe Warner Bros. Montreal is scared of that. So I really do think, in your mind, okay? In your mind, subconsciously, not necessarily us, okay? The person, you guys, or you, the individual, the one person that's watching the video one-on-one with me right now, we're not really going to be swayed. Now, you can like the game right now. You can have problems with it. You can be in the middle. You can hate the game. You can not be getting, you could have whatever opinion of the game right now that you want to have. But I don't think we're going to be swayed on the game based off of a CW TV show, all right? This doesn't necessarily, in fact, it doesn't apply to us, but this does apply to a wider public, because as I've said before, I do think Gotham Knights the game, whether it's good or even bad, I think it has a chance to sell really well. I mean, the Arkham game sold really, really well, and really, superhero games like that, and really games in general, I mean, if you make a good game that's in the brand that this is, I really think you have a chance to sell a lot of copies. Now, that goes to a wider audience, okay? You can't sell 5, 6, 7 million units without it going to people beyond the YouTube sphere that watch these videos, right? You're gonna get more people. And those people, I think, are subject to this. They can be influenced. This show, I really think, is going to damage greatly the Gotham Knights brand. When you see, now again, when I say you, I'm not talking literally about you or me, I'm talking about wider audience. When you see Gotham Knights, it's going to be hurt in your mind because of the TV show. If you've seen the trailer, right? Obviously you have to be aware of the CW show, and maybe some of the people buying the game have never heard of the TV show. But I do think there is a group, I don't know how big, I don't know how small, but I guarantee you there is a group of people out there that's going to be influenced by this. Not on purpose. This is not CW, like, trying to, like, attack Warner Bros. Montreal, or Warner Bros. In general trying to self-sabotage. I really don't think I think it's just bad. Like, they have a horrible team. Again, they made a horrible TV show. That show's canceled, so they're working on this. I just think they have no talent. Literally no talent whatsoever. And pushing agendas, all that kind of stuff, that's all they care about, right? And couple pushing agendas with no talent, and you have a recipe for disaster. But that, I really do think if people see the trailer or if people see the show, it's going to ruin what Gotham Knights is to those people. And I do 100% think that translates to the game. Because then when you see the game, whether you know about it, well, no, you'd have to not know about it, I guess, for this to be true. If you don't know about it, they can say whatever they want. You would think, oh, that game must be similar. So here's, I guess, the thing. They can say as many times as they want that the game, and they have to. I actually don't blame them for doing this, but they can say as much as they want the game's got nothing to do with the TV show. The issue is they literally have the exact same name. The exact same name. So when you look at one, if you only have seen the TV show or know something about the TV show and nothing about the game, that is immediately tarnished. Immediately, you're saying, oh, they're like tie-ins with each other, they're roughly the same. And even if you really don't know anything, right, you could think, oh, they literally are, the game is literally the show just put into a video game. I mean, and again, how many people are going to think this? I don't know. But here's where I honestly rest my case in this way. However I want to quantify it, right? If I want to give it a number, if I want to say 1 million people, 500,000 people, and you could say, Alex, the people you're talking about is an incredibly small number. That's fine. Again, these are just my opinions. Just my opinions. I think it's a bigger group than maybe what some people think. But here's the deal. It doesn't really matter what I say. Look at Warner Bros. Like this. All right, so now this goes back. This goes back to the beginning. I think that they are afraid. I do. I think Warner Bros. Montreal is afraid of this, and they really don't want to be associated. So clearly, whether it's a small group, a medium-sized group, a big group, I think it's a group that they are aware of that they really don't want that to exist. Does that make sense? I just think that it is a group they know is going to happen, and they don't want it because they've just distanced themselves. They even had one of the director, like one of the heads, okay, of the studio, also posted a article that was like linking game to show, and he said something along the lines of, you know, we say we're not connected to it at all, and the news outlets still say it, like, what a world. Something along those lines. And I replied to him, and I said, sadly, this is going to happen whether you want it to or not, whether you say anything or don't say anything. This is what's going to happen. I honestly think a lot of it is not purposeful. I do. Now, I think there is a lot in the media that is done on purpose and pushing certain things and done for a certain reason, but I really don't think this is done for a certain, like, this is an example of not that. I think people are just doing it because they're genuinely confused, or it's easy to mix these things up. It's easy to link that. I really think that. It's easy to make a mistake here, and you're gonna see that. So even one of the heads of the studio is tweeting. Now, he's tweeting jokingly, right? He's tweeting almost sarcastically, but he still did it. He still tweeted it, which means it's like it's in their mind. Them as Warner Bros. Montreal, one of the heads, and I'm sure other people have done it, they're going online and they're seeing people compare show to game, and they're saying, oh shoot, you know what I mean? Like, this is not what we needed. And here's the other thing. Here's the final thing. The issue, I guess, also, and this is definitely up to you, right? Because I know there are some people that have it, like, don't judge the game at all. Not a single shred, of judging it until the game comes out. I know there's some people that really like what they've seen, right? So I understand that those two groups exist. I would overall say, if I was going to do an average, this game hasn't looked spectacular, okay? This is not an example of a game that every time they come out has just blown the doors off. I truly mean that. And that sucks. I mean, that actually is I want the game every time it comes. Like Hogwarts. I would say Hogwarts Legacy is the reverse example. Every time that game gets shown, there's a genuine push of love. Everybody's talking about it, and really, people are saying very positive things all the time, except for the fact that it, was gone for like a year and a half, right? Besides the delays. Gotham Knights, you don't have that. Truly, you do. The overwhelming push for Gotham Knights is skepticism, is unsure. You're unsure about the game, and that's okay. That's okay. And again, I'm not saying, by the way, that's everybody. I think that's most people, though, that I can see on YouTube at least. So I guess making the long story even longer, it would be easier to not be hurt by this if you had forward momentum. If you were riding high, everything was good, and then all of a sudden this dumpster fire of a TV show rolls up at your door, and then but you get it out of there. You shoo it away. It's a lot easier to do that than if the house is broken down, destroyed, right? everything's going wrong. Now, again, I don't necessarily think it's that bad. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But this is already a game that does seem to have problems and doesn't seem to be overwhelmingly loved. Is that fair? I think that's fair no matter where you stand. The game does not get overwhelming love and support online, okay? And you could argue, did any of the Arkham games do that? You know, whatever. But that's the situation. This game does not have that. And then now you throw in that I do think this will inadvertently influence the brand name. The brand name of Gotham Knights is in danger. You could argue it already was in danger because of the game. Now you could argue it's very much in danger because of the TV show. Does that make sense? I don't want to be like overly mean to this game. I want to be fair. I've always tried. I think I've been one of the most fair on YouTube with this game, okay? I'm not hating it just to hate it. I've seen other people do that. I don't love it. I don't absolutely love it, but I'm being, in my opinion, fair, and I'm holding to my convictions. I like some of what we've seen of the game. I haven't liked some of what we've seen with the game, and that's okay. But I do think the TV show is going to have an impact, and I do think Warner Bros. Montreal is at least somewhat scared of that. This is almost like the Batman thing. Batman's dead. Dead. The thing is, if you have to keep saying it, then something is wrong, in my opinion. If you have to keep saying over and over again, Batman is dead, there's obviously a problem. Again, there's a crack in the armor somewhere. Either people don't trust you, which that could be an issue. Either people just flat out don't believe you would do something like that. People feel burned because they've been lied to before in literally the Arkham games. You know, there's something is there. Something is resulting in them having to say Batman is dead 500 times. Way more times than you need to. In fact, they say it so much that it makes them less credible because you don't really, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to say it as many times as they have. You say it, you know, I'm not saying you say it one time, but you say it less times. I believe you would say it less times. So you have that. Really, it's the same thing here. Why do you keep talking? And I know why. The answer, we know why. We just talked about it. Why do you keep talking about the CW show? If it's not going to be an issue, if you're not worried about it whatsoever, why do you keep bringing it up? And I'm not, they're bringing it up. Okay, so and again, I'm not saying like that's a huge issue. I'm putting it into like the what if. Why are they actually doing it? We know the answer why. It's actually understandable why they're doing it. It's just they got caught. They're literally they got caught in a really tough situation there's no way out of. So that's why they're talking about the CW show, because they are worried about it. Otherwise, they wouldn't even mention. You wouldn't care. If you have nothing to worry about, you wouldn't even bring it up. But obviously, there is something to worry about. So let me know what you think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.